Hello everybody and welcome to episode 1 of season 9 of 9 in 9. We are now the manager of Middlesbrough. It's the 9th of December 2029 and we have just taken charge of the borough. We'll see how we got here shortly. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this content, to please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to click that notification bell to know when a new video goes up on the channel. And also don't forget to leave me a comment if you've got anything to say. The managerial merry-go-round has been spinning. Let's find out how. So the managerial merry-go-round has been spinning. We have to mention first of all Marco Silva. He left Brentford on the 1st of June. Now I had the option to go there. They hadn't interviewed me. I turned it down. I thought, no, come on. Let's go for a proper challenge to finish 9 in 9. So we went into the season unemployed. Sheffield Wednesday have sacked John Sheridan. Ipswich have sacked Ruben Amarin. Nottingham Forest have sacked Danny Cowley. I was going to go to Nottingham Forest. I was going to go back to the City Ground until Ian Birchinall was under pressure. Just a little bit. And I thought, let's declare interest. So, the Middlesbrough board, Darren McAntony in charge, thank you Darren, he decided to pursue me as their new manager. And I think it's worth taking a look at the managers that have gone before. First and foremost, Neil Warnock was the manager of Middlesbrough in the game when it started. He was sacked after a year. Stephen Robinson took over. He didn't even last a year. Quinton Fortune took over from him. He lasted just over a year. Bruno Lage took over from him. Nearly 3 years in charge, Bruno Lage. He did a lot better than everybody else. Tony Mowbray lasted less than a year. Phil Neville lasted just over a year. And Ian Birchinall was just over a year in charge. None of them have taken Middlesbrough to the Premier League so far, which is perfect for us as club number 9. Middlesbrough have been out of the Premier League for a very long time. It is time they returned. With a relatively easy club vision to go through, so develop players using youth system, alright, we can do that. Play attacking football, absolutely. Play possession football might be a bit tricky with how we play. Signing high reputation players. Obviously Middlesbrough have a history of doing that with Juninho, Fabrizio Ravanelli, Emerson from way back in the 1990s. So yeah, looking forward to that. Working within wage budget, obviously. Selling players for profits. I don't plan to sell any of them. Obviously, we are into the final season of 9 in 9, so let's just crack on. Top half finish. You'll see the league table shortly. We're a little bit closer to that than what it would appear. FA Cup 4th round, EFL Cup. I think we're already out of it, so it doesn't really matter. If there is some surgery needed on the squad in January, though, we do have some money to spend. £19 million of it. And a bit of the wage budget to about 80 grand we've got left over in the wage budget. So the finances, they're fine. Good for the championship. Good. And give us a little bit of wiggle room to do some changes if we need to make them. And here is the squad. It's a small squad. It's not huge. But then I like a huge squad, but I'm quite happy managing with a smallish one for now. We've only got a month until the window opens. So if we need to bring more players in, we can. They have got some real quality. John Middleton, we'll look at him shortly. Very good player, potential to be a 5-star player, that boy. Josh Coburn, who I remember for very bad reasons as knocking Tottenham out of the FA Cup in real life last season. Mike Cooper's a very good goalkeeper. Dale Fry has been with the football club since he was like 7. So that's really good to have that homegrown player. Someone that the fans can get behind. Brooklands Lions Foster, we've had him before in one of our seasons that we've done so far. Taylor Gardner-Hickman, we had him at West Brom right at the very beginning. There's a little bit of meta going on. Let's take a look at the key players, though, that we're going to have going forward. And I mentioned him right off the bat, and that is John Middleton. 4-star player. Has come through the Middlesbrough Academy. So, again, another player that the fans can get behind. He will be a very big part of this team. I can tell you that. Anybody comes in from in January, there is people interested. They are going to have to look elsewhere. This kid is going to stay with us. And if we're going to make it to the Premier League in the 6 months we have, he is going to be vital to it. Moving on next, we move on to a player we've seen fairly recently. And that is Stanis Parola. When we played Charlton at the end of last season, he scored the goal for them. And he has now a Middlesbrough player. 6 goals so far in the 16 appearances he's made for the club. Delighted to see he was here, frankly. He caused untold problems for us in that game later in last season. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what he can do. We have to mention Dale Fry as well. Obviously, he has been with Middlesbrough all of his career. 481 appearances to this point. We'll break the 500 barrier, barring an injury, before the end of the season. Looking forward to working with Dale. He's a very good player in real life. And yeah, he's got the commitment, he's got the heart and the desire that we're going to need if we're going to get promotion. One thing the Middlesbrough do have a few of, and it's wingers. And I like a winger. Michael Burling is the next one we're going to take a look at. Regen, 4-star potential. Currently 2.5 star. Look at dribbling, 15 for a 23-year-old. Pace is 16. Agility and acceleration, 17 and 16 as well. Work rate and off the ball are very good as well. The mental attributes will hopefully improve as he gets older. Bought for £6 million from Burnley a couple of seasons ago. It will be a bargain later in his career. And the last player we're going to take a look at is Josh Coburn. Again, another player that has come through the Middlesbrough Academy. Great that they've got so many players that have come through their academy over the years. Finishing a 13, heading a 16, target forward, but can play as a deep line playmaker and a poacher. So we might have to adapt our style if he's going to be the central striker. He can also play behind the striker, which might be an option going forward. Take a look at the formation in a second. But yeah, looking forward to working with Josh. I've tried to sign him a couple of times, never really had the opportunity to make the deal work. So now I get to work with him. Tactics-wise, we are sticking to the tried and trusted 4-2-3-1. They were playing 4-4-2. So it's not too much of a change, because we're just moving from 2 strikers to 1 and moving the midfielders up a little bit more to try and help out. So it's a bit more attacking, it's a bit more what they want to see the board, so that will tick a few boxes for them. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this works. We might switch it to 5 at the back. There is a capability to do that, but I think the 5 at the back system is now dead. We haven't used it for a little while now. It's 4-2-3-1 to start with, at least. And after 19 games, it hasn't been going so bad. Hence why they're 10th in the table. Ian Birchinall was doing all right. I've kind of done him out of a job, haven't I? Never mind. So they drew with Derby on the opening day of the season, but wins over Nottingham Forest, Ipswich, Blackburn, Birmingham and Millwall. Wins over Stoke and Portsmouth. Unbeaten in 4 at the moment. Beat Brentford 3-0 last time around. So the pressure's on a little bit to keep the good run going. Let's take a look at the league table. So in the Carabao Cup, we were knocked out by Manchester United. Of course we were knocked out by Manchester United. We're always knocked out by Manchester United. Haven't entered the FA Cup yet. Currently find ourselves in 10th place on goal difference. Has to be said. We're level on points with Forest, Luton, Stoke and Crystal Palace, all on 29 outside the playoffs. Just outside. 3 points outside the playoffs. So we're very, very close to it. Is automatic promotion out of the question? No, not at this point. But baby steps. Let's get ourselves into that playoff picture comfortably first of all. Let's take a look and see what we're going to do next time. So, our opening game for the eagle-eyed amongst you, you might have already seen it. We take on Mansfield on Tuesday night. That will be the first game you will see at the Steve Gibson Stadium. No longer at the Riverside, at the home of the man that built Middlesbrough to what it is today, the former chairman, Steve Gibson. So we are very much parachuted in to the Middlesbrough job. Thank you to Ian Birchinall for leaving us in such a good position. I'm really sorry that I cost you your job, but never mind, that is the cutthroat nature of football management. So we're just outside the playoffs. We have 6 months to get Middlesbrough into the playoffs, possibly further, we'll see what happens, and get promotion number 9 before Football Manager 23 comes out as well. Time constraint is very much upon us, so the episodes, they are going to come thick and they are going to come fast to try and get to the end of this before Football Manager 23 comes out. I'd like to set myself a challenge. So yeah, we'll come back next time for the game with Mansfield and see if we can beat the side that have now got promotion to the Championship. It's crazy to think that Mansfield are in the Championship, but fair play to them. They are going to need putting to the sword. Let's see if we can do it on our first game in charge. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this content, to please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to leave me a comment if you've got anything to say. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.